and welcome to Spill the RT. My name is Eamon Shanahan. I'm here with Josh Stein. Hi, Josh. How are you doing?
Hey, folks. I'm doing well. Eamon, how's your week been?
Oh, sure. Look, it has been great. The weather's changing, though. You know, it's getting bitter. It's getting bitter.
It's not bitter here yet. It was 100 degrees, and then it became 70 degrees, and now it's 85 degrees. And let's just say the world is all weird.
Dear
But it's
God.
October, so it's supposed to be. So
And
that's a
that's
good thing,
Fahrenheit,
right?
though, isn't it? You know, just for us Europeans, we don't understand what those big numbers are.
And I just wanted to say before we get going,
Mm.
thank you so much for my swag. For those that can see it, maybe.
Pull it back, pull it back. There you go. There you go.
There
Yeah.
we go.
We've got some merch, people. Oh, I've got it
See
too.
that?
That was snazzy.
See that?
So we're actually spilling tea now. Well, please don't spill tea over the
Absolutely.
computer, please, because we need you to
Yes.
be like working next week.
But you said, folks, you ask, we deliver. You ask, we will deliver. How about
Exactly.
that?
We got the merch, dude.
From us to you.
So we are going into our 21st episode, and as you said quite rightly last week, you're saying we're now legal.
We are. We're completely legal. And this week, we're going to be all kinds of weirdness. You ready for this, folks? This week, AI helps with anthropology for once. Art goes from New Zealand to Yemen to the Met Museum. Tomato Twittery continues. Arrgh. What happened to Frank Lloyd Wright's only skyscraper and a $6.65 million Cellar find? All that and a brand new guest are up next as we spill the art tea.
Yes, yes, yes. So before we bring Ben on, Josh, what are our viewers supposed to do?
Folks, you know this. You like, you subscribe, you share, you send it out to 3 friends. You ask us nicely for swag. Give us ideas. Tell us what you need. Come on.
Yeah, tell us what you want.
Magnets?
That's absolutely right. Yeah. So if you have any questions, thoughts, you want to come on the show, that's no problem. hello@nuacollective.com. Right. Let's get on with the show. Let's bring on Ben. Ben, are you there?
I'm here. Thank you for
Hello,
having
Ben.
me.
Welcome.
I'm here, minus a mug, however.
Oh,
It was
I'm
an
sorry.
oversight.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to point fingers this early on.
We are, we're about the deliverables. If you deliver, we deliver. How's that?
I've delivered already, I think. But no, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
We're absolutely ecstatic to have you on too, and to bring your energy to the room. So we are very excited to get started with our first story. Are you ready to get started?
If it's spooky, I'm here. I'm
It's
dressed.
spooky.
I came autumnal. It's pumpkin. It's giving Freddy Krueger. 31st of October.
Here we go. Well, before we get ahead of ourselves, Josh, where are we going to for our first story?
So we go off to Peru for this particular story. Most people are probably aware of the Nazca lines. These are these ancient carved into the sides of rock faces, and it's stuff that's been overgrown, and they're huge. There's these giant drawings of various things. Turns out AI is actually useful for something for once. Who knew? Pattern recognition. They've turned up hundreds of these lines. They call them lines, but they're really drawings because they're made of lines. And there's these two different types. One is the human size, which is like much bigger, and the other are to scale, but these animals and various creatures and things, and they're much smaller and naturally harder to find. And one thing that AI does really, really well is pattern recognition, right? Well, guess what? That's what they found, hundreds of these things.
My goodness. Yeah, I know they said that they had found over 168 new geoglyphs within this discovery alone. And I think it was within like a record amount of time from how they did it in such a fast period where us poor timid humans can't get our chances to do that in that time. So yeah, there's another job gone.
I went into Bath and Body Works yesterday and I picked up some hand soaps that don't look dissimilar to this, let me tell you.
Did Siri help you?
I'm thinking merch for you guys, to be honest with you. Let's get some carvings in them. Let's do it in the lab. Let's make it happen.
I think what's really interesting about these are the illustrations that are showing up here. I think they're really cool, and they're really fun. You know, you can see like the crown, and there's whatever sort of an alien creatures on the left, and the bird, and you know, there's this. It's quite fun.
Well, I don't mean this in a disparaging way whatsoever, but anyone who's done psychedelics or club drugs, I think you may recognize some of these people from your peripheral vision, and the creatures too, right? It's like, to me, it just speaks to the fact that humanity across time is still human. right? And so
Yeah.
it's interesting that they decided to make these so big. It certainly makes them much more permanent. But it's to me, it's the same kind of thing that people actually do on their bodies, right? Like it's this idea that the world is more than just like the five senses, and there's all kinds of weird stuff out there, and why not embrace it?
Absolutely.
I think this was a foresight for Britney Spears, to be honest with you. I'm seeing the crown, I'm seeing the weird alien. Her perfume was called Alien. All the signs are given, and I'm here for it. Prehistoric Britney, historic Britney, futuristic Britney. It's this kind of. I think I made up an era then. I think I might have made up an era.
Well, no, it's a Viconian ever return, right? And so the past becomes the future. Battlestar Galactica. It's all good. It's all good.
Xena Warrior Princess. It's giving Xena.
What is happening down here in the bottom left image, though? What's going on there? Are they are they the raccoons or like humans with big tails or?
Well, as I said, MDMA spirit people is what some of this stuff kind of reminds me of, right? Like the creatures and sprites that just pop up when you're 12 hours deep into a session. I don't know. They do a lot of drugs high up in the world.
I'm quite captivated by the middle left. Like, is this a new fish? Is it a new mammal? Is this someone I could date? Like, realistically, I've got that desperate.
These go back 2,000 years, so potentially they're not still in existence. So
that's what we call a daddy. That's what we call a daddy.
Okay.
So all we need to know now is, are they rich?
Okay, moving swiftly along into our second story, where we are going to Yemen, or actually we're going to the
Met.
We're going to the Met.
We're going to New Zealand. We're going to New Zealand, and then we're going from New Zealand.
Xena Warrior Princess was filmed, FYI.
We're going from New
That is
Zealand.
a fun fact for everyone. That's a fun fact anyone can take away from this podcast. Okay, Xena Warrior Princess. It wasn't American. It was filmed in New Zealand. Okay.
So with that in mind, this family had a bunch of these very ancient carvings that actually are from Yemen, and they repatriated them. But Yemen's in the middle of a civil war for a number of years now. But Yemen said, you know what, let's keep these, I think it's 14 of them, let's keep them safe. And so they're in New York at the moment at the Met.
There was a lot of controversy. I suppose we've looked at this before, where you look at cultural reappropriation and about protecting the identity of people's culture and that kind of thing, and by questioning why they're in a certain gallery and not in the gallery of their home country. And this is obviously the complete opposite of that, where the Met are offering protection for these pieces, and there is a higher purpose for that. And I think they're like the pieces are quite cool, and you can see that they're a heritage antiquity of this society. So I mean, I think it's definitely worth protecting 100%. And in such a war torn place, it's important that they do get that protection.
And we have been talking about past, present, and future. And I have to say, obviously, this week some big news: Met Gala. Next year, 2025, the theme's been announced, the co-chairs have been announced. And I have to say, as a massive Rihanna fan, I'm excited to see her partner, ASAP Rocky. He's there, he's the co-chair. But more excited to see, where's Rihanna going to take this outfit?
I don't know. Which outfit? This outfit?
I don't want to try and predict, okay? I'm not a stylist, and I'm not an archaeologist. What I am is an enthusiast. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Rihanna is going to bring to the 2025 Met Gala with her partner, ASAP Rocky, as a co-chair. And these pieces could well be there. So we need to remember that, okay? We could be predicting a serious trend for next year.
But I don't think you want that to be the trend. These apparently are all funerary pieces. So like that box was a incense burner. These are various kinds of like
incense is in. If you go to any Poundland store right now, they're loving it. And Rihanna is about the masses. You've got to give it to her.
Right.
She is. It's true.
Okay.
I think that's that tea spilled.
That tea is spilled. That tea is spilled and brought back to life, I feel.
Why do I feel like I'm going to get cancelled after this?
No, you're going to bring us everyone who cares about Rihanna and the Met Gallery.
We are diversifying, baby. So
that is the world. That is the world.
Speaking of protecting the planet and all of that, we're going to a gallery in London, and we are going to see yet another destruction of one of I think it's Van Gogh's works.
So,
This
but,
annoys right. This just full stop before you even see it. This annoys me. This is so disrespectful.
Hold
It doesn't
the point.
matter.
Hold the
I'm
point,
an
Ben.
advocate.
Let Josh
I'm a
give us an
campaigner.
explanation.
It doesn't
What's
matter
happening,
what you're
Josh?
campaigning for.
So, for
Annoying.
those that don't know the backstory here, these are the folks who got arrested and
Yes.
now just got sentenced for tomatoing the Van Gogh. Now, because they got sentenced, their friends decided, we will Van Gogh again. We will tomato the Van Gogh again because you dared to hold us accountable for what we did the first time.
Yeah, we covered this story only a couple of weeks ago. They were sent to prison. I think today was their first, or this week was their first time that they were supposed to be in prison. So here they are out specific exhibition
Gallery.
that's happening. Yeah, they're having a really special exhibition for Van Gogh at the moment. And here they are destroying. Well, it's covered in protective glass, so we're lucky.
You dared to jail our colleagues? We'll do it again.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
I would take them and, like Augustus Gloop, I would drop them in a giant tomato lake and just watch them drown. I think that would be a wonderful art piece.
But I think what's interesting here is the audience reaction in this video, because they are not for this. People are not for this sort of activity. You can make a point. You can make a point in a way that you get your point across. You don't have to deface national treasures such as this.
It's not yours. It doesn't belong to you. You can keep saying the earth is all of ours, so let me damage something that belongs to all of us. It just doesn't make any sense. It's the stupidest strategy I've ever seen.
It's so disrespectful. And also, what are they standing for? Like, the messages aren't coming through. As a PR person, I want to know.
Yes.
What the pillars are you messaging? And throwing paint over some artwork is not one of them.
Yes.
No.
And it's not okay.
But the whole point of this week is, right, so they already got held accountable for this. And so they just decided to double down. This is what the right wing does in the United States. You dare to say what I'm doing is awful? You're appalled at this? Let me double down. Here, hold my beer while I do it again.
It's the equivalent of sending an inflatable down the River Thames. Is that poor a PR stunt?
Actually, I think sending an inflatable down the River Thames would have more impact than this.
And you wouldn't have destroyed any artwork in the meantime. And we've seen that. We've seen examples of where action or where artivism has come into play, and has come into play successfully without damaging things, without damaging property. It's just ridiculous, and it makes my blood boil. I just don't understand why it's necessary.
Yeah, to me, it's actually turning off people who would be on their side.
Absolutely.
Right? Because I cannot see someone who's like an appreciator of world heritage saying, oh, you're right, we should let the earth be despoiled. But if what you're doing is despoiling as part of your objection, you are the problem. You're not the solution.
And their pieces we're never going to get back. You're destroying not even like architecture. It's like pieces of history.
Yeah, exactly.
And at least they're in under protective measures, and at least they're profoundly like protected. But that's not the point. I think here. I think it's the fact that they'd be willing to potentially take the risk that they weren't, and it's just not good. It's not good.
And it was the double kind of FU of, well, you held us accountable, so we'll do it again.
Yeah. Right.
So to me, the logic then is fine. Let's escalate on our side. I don't know. Human tomato cans, that could work.
How does that work?
Well, you take someone, you tie him up on a trebuchet, and then you do the whole Middle Ages thing.
That's a whole Netflix series waiting to happen. And I hope with my lovely artwork, I'm not going to be a target. I need to go back this way.
Or a Japanese game show. That's the kind of stuff that they would do in Japan, right? They would put you in a giant suit, and then they would throw you and see what happens.
There's some content for Squid Game.
I'm down for that. I think tomato twits.
Yeah.
Tomato twits are perfect with that. Yep.
Perfect. Right. On that note, we're going to go and have a little break now and see what's happening with Nua. So, Nua Collective, a visual art community, is home to 20 artists and hundreds of their artworks, with fresh work added weekly to our online collection at nuacollective.com. Here you will find our Nua journal featuring articles and podcasts, which are also available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Our beautiful print publications highlighting our collaborative collections are available to buy, perfect for your art book collection. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and wherever you find your socials. Like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss out on us spilling the RT in our weekly roundups every Friday. So that's Nua Collective. That's where we're at. That's what we're doing. And we have a very special offer for you that is available in the comments below, where you can get not 5, not 10, but 15% off artworks for the next week. So use the promo code in the comments below and we will make your life all that bit richer with lots of new
Can I ask something so
Yes.
controversial as a very gay man?
Okay.
Where does the term spilling the tea come from? Like where does it originate?
Originated in parlor talk, and the idea was you sit around and kind of coffee clatch, and so you're sitting around, you're talking, and you spill the tea. That's where that term comes from.
Thank you.
And now we're spilling our tea.
Harlem Renaissance, etc.
Yeah, there we go. And that tea is spilled.
I leave today a better gay. I leave today. That rhymes as well. I leave today a better gay.
I leave today a better gay. That's perfect. There you are. You're more informed.
What more do I want for my
You're more
Sunday?
informed.
We are always glad to contribute to people's growth.
Personal development, aspirations.
We are, if nothing, an outreach program for the better of people and humankind.
Speaking of reaching towards the sky, off to Bartlesville, Oklahoma we go.
Okay,
Why?
LAHOMA.
Oh, I don't know about you all. One of my favorite architects is Frank Lloyd Wright because of the way in which his designs are always very organic, very much integrated into the site, those kinds of things.
Yes.
There's actually one skyscraper that Wright built. It was not intended to be built in Oklahoma. It was designed for New York, but there was this thing called a depression, so it never got built. And then 30 years later, it got built in the 1950s in Oklahoma. At that time, Oklahoma was a big part of the petrochemical world. And so a huge petrochemical company wanted a big old petrochemical phallic symbol to the world. We are great. And so that's the Frank Lloyd Wright skyscraper. You're seeing him there in front of the model.
Yeah, well, what's been really interesting with this as well is that they have been using this space in the last number of years as an artist space.
Well, it didn't start off that way.
No, it didn't. It didn't.
Right? They keep trying to like reuse these things instead of knocking them down. And so, yes, you're right. At one point, it was used for artist collectives and those kinds of things. But unfortunately, what's ended up happening is it's now essentially being piecemeal sold off, sort of few chairs at a time. And there's a conservancy that's like trying to stop all of this, stop selling this stuff. But there's a chair available for $88,000 online right now.
Yes, I believe though.
$88,000.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you
I
see,
don't like
Frank Lloyd
heights.
Wright,
This isn't for me. This is not for me. I don't like heights. I don't have $88,000. You know what? I'm out. I'm out. If it was Dragon's Den, Shark Tank, I would be out.
See, this chair, there is a lot of controversy over this auction alone because you see the conservation protection over this building requires that furniture to stay in place. And in order for it to stay in place, you can't sell it on. So these valuable objects, and you can see here in this slide here where there's the apartment that was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright, and some of the furnishings in both images here, which are worth an astronomical amount of money because he was known for his furnishings. You know, he was known for his furniture design.
Here's what's crazy. The whole building is valued, right, for $6.5 million.
Yeah.
They were going to put it up for auction. The auction got halted because of this back and forth about the legal proceedings. But the minimum bid was only $600,000.
Yeah.
So you can sell a chair for just about $100,000, or get the whole damn building for $600,000 and then preserve it, which is, I think, ultimately what people would want. If we're talking about like World Heritage, this is the only one this guy ever got built, right? Like there's only one of them. And it's integrated in a way that looks just like one of the houses, but it's an entire building. I think this is something we want to try to preserve.
I would rename it Daddy's Building. Daddy's Building. It's high in cash. It's high cash value. Sold.
It's
selling
in the middle of
Sunset.
nowhere,
Netflix
and that's why it's
season
not
20.
selling.
Selling Sunset. Netflix season 20. Let's make it happen. Daddy's Building. You hit it here first.
Perfect.
I'm not a retailer.
The problem is with a house, you could try to pick a house up and relocate it, right? With a building, with a skyscraper, that's not going to happen. And so the unfortunate part here is it's built in a place, Oklahoma, which is not necessarily, and to be fair, this part of Oklahoma has a long art history. They've always had like creative arts, orchestra, supporting of the community in that way. But the reality is Oklahoma is smack in the middle of the continent. And in terms of geography and population, there's just not a lot of people there. There's not a lot of interest, right? And so it's this question of how do we preserve things that are in these out of the way kind of places? And also keep the tomato twits away, I guess.
Absolutely. But
Thinking Stonehenge.
we
right?
had this issue. We had this issue a couple of episodes ago. We were looking at about decentralizing funding, and how all of the money is going towards these big, already hugely populated and densely cultural already spaces that are looked after in a cultural sense, and then you go outside of those areas, and then it diminishes quite vastly. And like
very rapidly.
This is a perfect example of this in Oklahoma, where this place itself is like in the middle of nowhere, and they don't see the value in investing in this because it's not going to have that much of a reach that it would have if it was in a more centralized location.
Yeah. For those that aren't aware, Oklahoma is kind of like Wales. Like, it's nice, but it's kind of out of the beaten path, and you got to deliberately choose to go there.
I really apologize to all the Welsh people that are listening today.
I was born in Cardiff. I don't identify as Welsh, and that's another story for another podcast. But I was born in Cardiff in Wales.
It's not slamming Wales. I'm just saying.
It's
off the beaten
path. I'm just raising the hand as a fellow Welshman.
Off the beaten path. I liked Wales. It was nice. It was cold and permafrosty. It was wonderful. The point is, it was like being in Alaska. It was December. There was nothing. It was nothing. Sorry, Wales.
Josh. Moving on. Okay,
come get me. Come cancel me.
It may surprise people. I'm versatile. I'm in Manchester now. I was born in Wales. I live in London. It's verse.
Okay, so now we're going to go find some artwork. And this time we are going into the cellar of a property that was completely disowned. And I think before we actually find out about this artwork, I just want to show you this picture of a woman. 1 second, when I get it.
I thought it was cancelled.
Picture of a woman.
It's a picture of a person who identifies as the mother of the household, and she personally absolutely detested this image, and was like, this needs to go, this is not part of anything. And the son, who had kind of somewhat of an interest in art, had said, no, this is actually a Picasso, and brought it to the Picasso people, and they were like, no, it can't be. And of course they were getting hundreds and hundreds of artworks sent to them to say that they were Picassos or they weren't Picassos, when in actual fact it is a Picasso, and it's worth $6 million. I
saw this story. This is Cher. I'm sorry, and she's old enough. It backdates. The facts are the facts. This is Cher pre-Botox. It's wonderful.
This is Cher pre-birth is what this is, because it goes back a long time. This was found in Capri, and then it sat for 3 decades in Pompeii in some house, and then underneath their house because no one liked it because they thought it was this ugly picture. And guess what? $6.65 million Picasso.
Yeah, crazy.
Tell you folks, check out your basements, check out your attics, go looking for places where shit has just been sitting for a long time, because money is there.
I mean, every second week we found a new art piece. So, I mean, come on, guys, there must be something there.
Well, I wish we had found them. Yes, that would be cool. But unfortunately, if you are looking to sponsor people who want to go out and look, feel free to contact us, folks.
What did you call them? You called them something? You had a name for them, Josh. What were they called?
I don't know. What did I call them?
I don't know. You were like, I don't know.
It's like storage lockers. This is like high art, high fashion. I'm seeing good outfits. It's high art, high fashion. We're going to go raid people's basements, which I do on a weekend basis anyway. And we'll just, find some great pieces. Hope we find Cher. Hey, presto.
They call them home visits.
Home visits.
Things like that.
Yeah, home visits.
Yeah. You call up a gallery and you're like, I got an old house that my great-grandmother lived in. They'll be like, hey, this might be something we're interested in. And they go in first because they want first takings.
Yep, there you go.
Is it legal?
Oh, yeah.
It is if you ask them to do it.
Yeah, if the owner says, go ahead, and they just go on digging. And some of these houses, particularly in places like New England, where houses that have been around for hundreds of years, and many families have had them in the family. So no one knows what's there, and they don't go looking until someone goes looking. And sure enough, $1 million here, $500,000 there, $6.65 million over here.
We'll connect after this. I need some numbers. I need some houses. I need some.
We'll send you numbers. We'll connect. We'll connect. Speaking of connecting, it's time to connect with you a little bit, Ben. Ben, you are bringing a story to the table. What is your story?
Okay, so I live the life of Rihanna. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. I've got Shine Bright Like a Diamond tattooed in separate places. I'm not going to reveal where because this is a family show. I'm led to believe. But she is an icon. She is a billionaire. She's not only a pop star, she is a fashion designer. She is a mogul. She is a makeup artist. And this week has been a great week for Rihanna. Okay. She is making a serious comeback. So I think she has already revealed this year. She has got a 9th studio album. It's waiting. She's teasing us. It's done. It's literally, I don't really say on the track. It's recorded. And she's just teasing us. It's ready to come out. And she is not like a stranger to PR stunts, to PR strategy. Look at the Super Bowl last year. And I just think this week's been a big week. We've got Vogue questioning her outfits. Okay, she landed in New York to launch her line on Nordstrom. Okay, here we go. This was planned. She didn't just roll out of the private jet into the car to launch her range. This was planned. But again, she's that powerful. She has got Vogue, InStyle, Elle, Cosmopolitan, Glamour, every single news outlet talking. And she's wearing a tracksuit. It's not even one of her own tracksuits with a very, I love Vogue's commentary. And I think it was a guy called Daniel that wrote the article. Call me, loved it. Look at the diamond necklace. It's so understated. And this is the vibe she's giving now. She is a billionaire. She does not care. So she's launching her ranges and she's just going to drop that album. And that is the unexpected nature of what she's doing. So that was New York. She landed. She was now in Nordstrom stores across the US. Josh, I think you probably relate to that. We don't have Nordstrom. Is it Nordstrom?
Nordstrom.
Am I getting that right?
Yes. I don't go into that store, but yes, I'm aware that there is a store called Nordstrom. Yes.
I hear you're wearing Savage Fenty under that, quite frankly, Josh. No, I'm getting some tea that you're wearing a Savage Fenty piece underneath.
You know me and my tracksuit.
But she's now available, and that's what I love. So she that was a PR stunt. Clearly, I'm a PR man. She then did an actual photo shoot. She was wearing like a camouflage. It was like a corset with like a massive fur coat. Vogue covered it for the 3rd time that week. I just love her. She knows what she's doing. She knows who she is. She knows her brand, and it just flows. And you know what? Okay, but what's confusing me is why is she's known for her Met Gala stunts. Obviously, her partner, ASAP Rocky, this week was also announced. Met Gala announced next year's 2025 theme and the co-chairs and the chair. Firstly, my thing is, why is there no women on that committee for next year? Question number 1.
Okay.
I'll
It's
get
the
on
same
that.
with every board and chair, I think, across all of things, all organizations.
But it's true. And it was a great choice. But you've got ASAP Rocky and you've got Rihanna. I would have chosen Rihanna. And yes, I'm biased to the floor.
Well, I mean, is this a question of who we prefer? I mean, maybe she's just not willing to go and perform again. We've got what she's ever going to give us. Maybe that's just the end of it, I don't know. She's been teasing this 9th album for quite some time now.
I can't wait till it drops. I've been eagerly anticipating because me and the club scene.
Sorry.
What's your favorite Rihanna song, please?
I can't even name a Rihanna song.
Are you lying? I fell for that. I am shook.
Josh,
Really? I was picturing you with Rude Boy. Oh, nah.
It's very much your aesthetic, Rude Boy, that video, Josh.
Sure.
We can't play a video because she won't give us the rights.
But I can sing you an acoustic version.
Okay, perfect. Josh, we'll get you as a special Spill the RT exclusive performing Rude Boy right here on Spill the RT. That's coming next week. You don't want to miss out, folks.
Talk about fear of missing out.
Talk about fear of
the
missing out.
viewership is going to go up.
Keep looking for that one each week, folks. Keep looking.
Absolutely. That's a good segue into what we're supposed to do, Josh.
Oh, what are we supposed to do? Let's
I
think.
don't know. Ben, do you know
So,
what people
folks,
should do?
No.
Like, share, subscribe, send it 3 friends, ask us for new swag, tell us what we do next. If you are interested in being a guest, we're always looking for new people to come on.
We are. And as you can see, anybody can come on.
That's offensive, I feel. That is very offensive. I brought you high couture Rihanna fashion.
Absolutely.
That says art
And
more
we
than that.
appreciate you for that, Ben, because
Absolutely.
Rihanna is very, very good.
Very, very good.
She is the only billionaire we have featured on this show to
She
date. So we
is.
appreciate you for that.
Thank you, Ben, for bringing that
I
story.
love that. And I love that closing statement. Thank you so much. I'm certainly not a billionaire. If I am looking. No, it's haven't.
You're billionaire adjacent.
I have actually. So I did prepare something, guys. I didn't want to. I'm going to reach round now. BRB, you can see the artwork. And the only artwork you're going to get from my segment, you're going to see behind me.
Show me the money.
I've never lost it. No, here we go. Okay, are we closing out?
We're closing out.
Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a podcast. Subscribe now. That's for free. That's royalty free. That is royalty free.
Thank you, Ben. And thank you for joining us today, Ben. We have been absolutely honored to have you on today, and we hope to have you on again in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Josh, until next time, we see you spilling the RT next Monday, again at 7 p.m. BST or whatever time zone you are in across the world. Come join us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're everywhere. Talk to you soon, everyone. Start spilling some tea. Bye.